So I might be. Yeah, we're going. All right. So here we go. Another day. Try and get through this. Um, where we left off. And go into some of the interviews by some of some of the fan members, stuff like that. So it's always an exciting time, but some of these are actually kind of relevant and important, so it should be all right. Mary Lou Danley. Of course, this is something we do not have the actual interview itself. We just have this summary. Um, Mary Lou Danley was interviewed on several occasions after the incident. Present during the interviews were various investigators with the LVMPD and FBI, along with Danley's daughter and lawyer. That's interesting. They let her daughter sit in on this. Uh, the following is a summary of the information provided and learned during those interviews. Danley was born in the Philippines and later moved to Australia, became a citizen. Danley moved to the United States in the late 1980s. I don't know why they're putting all this shit in, because her past shouldn't matter, but whatever. She married and lived in Tennessee and Arkansas until separating from her husband. Danley then moved to Reno and began working as a high limit casino host. While in Reno, Danley met Stephen Paddock and had a professional relationship. I think it was all a professional relationship, but anyway. Over the course of a couple years, their relationship developed into a romantic one. And by that, I'm guessing a romantic professional one, but who knows? Speculation. Paddock was not living in Reno at the time, but would visit often and stay at the casino. According to Danley, Paddock played video poker and was known as a high roller. As their relationship developed, okay, wait, when did this shit start? This shit start. While in Reno, yeah, it doesn't even say when it started. As the relationship developed, Paddock bought a condominium in Reno because he was tired of staying in the hotel. So this guy was hotel hopping back then, huh? So it sounds like. I heard something during COVID that I saw some video out there about somebody living at the Grand Hotel Casino over there in Vegas during some of the COVID stuff. Spent a month there or whatever, living there. So I wonder if that's what this clown was doing. Where was his address this time, man? Because I'm sure his address wasn't that hotel. Um, I don't know. I got his background. I could probably figure it out. He probably had a house in LA or some shit like that. In 2013, Danley moved into the condominium, and Paddock continued to travel between Mesquite, Texas, and Reno. So was he really living there? Was he even living there? Um, or was this her condo? Paddock told Danley his family owned an apartment complex in Mesquite. Mesquite, Texas. Yeah. Yep. Did they own an apartment complex? I don't think they owned a whole complex. Oh man, I think they owned units, but I don't think they owned the whole complex. Um, and it wasn't just his family; it was his ex-wife's family also owned apartments over there. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that apartment complex. Oh, that's interesting. I don't remember that the first time around. I don't think I paid attention to that the first time around. 2014, Paddock purchased a single family residence in Reno area and sold the condominium. Uh, Paddock and Danley, yeah, see, he bought her an apartment, dude. He bought her an apartment. Um, yeah, that does, yeah. Where is she living? Fuck was she living at the time? bought a condominium and Danley moved in. Yeah, where was she moving? Where was she living before that? What the fuck's that about? 2014, Paddock purchased a single-family residence in Reno area and sold the condominium. And how did she go? How did you go from living in Tennessee and Arkansas to Reno, Nevada? Just wake up and say, "Hey, Reno, Nevada sounds like a fun town. I'm gonna go move there." Whatever. Whatever. Oh man, in 2014, I mean, was she even working in the industry before that? Is that why she moved out there? I mean, what the fuck? 2014, Paddock purchased single-family residence in Reno area and sold the condominium. Paddock and Danley moved into the house, and it became their primary residence. All right, so yeah, maybe he did. Maybe he started living out there. January 2015, Paddock purchased single-family residence in Mesquite. Paddock and Danley would travel between the two residences often. All real estate transactions were completed in Paddock's name only. All right, so she didn't own shit. After acquiring the Mesquite residence, Paddock and Danley would routinely travel to Las Vegas and stay at various casinos while gambling. Most of the trips were for a few days at a time. They had hosts at several casinos and would book rooms, show tickets, and concerts through the casino hosts. Paddock would often request a room with a nice view. Reservations were placed with both names so that both could charge incidentals to the rooms. Paddock and Danley took multiple trips together, and Paddock asked Danley to quit working so they could travel more. So she was still working. She was still working while they were part-time living in Mesquite and Vegas. That's all right. Whatever. That's interesting. So, was he staying in Mesquite while she worked up in Reno? I mean, is that how this thing played out? Paddock and Danley took multiple trips together, and Paddock asked Danley to quit working so he could travel more. Danley told him she could not because she had to work. Paddock convinced Danley to quit working in 2015. So from 2013 to 2015, this is quite interesting. So it was January 2015. He purchased the residence in Mesquite in January. Doesn't say when. 2015, she quit working. And agreed to give her a set amount of money every month. What? Paddock and Danley traveled, taking many cruises and international trips. Destinations included the Mediterranean, Bahamas, Dubai, and the Orient. Danley described her relationship with Paddock as very romantic in the beginning. However, she noticed a gradual decline in affection. According to him, it was due to his declining health. Danley stated over the course of their relationship, hugging and kissing stopped. Danley confronted Paddock about the lack of affection, and he told her he was unable to commit to more affection. What? Oh, you just say that out loud to somebody? That's weird. Paddock would show concern and compassion despite the lack of affection. Danley stated Paddock was no longer able to have an intimate relationship because he was unable to perform. Dude was getting old. Shit. Danley told investigators Paddock was physiologically able to have sex, but the physical act would exhaust him. Isn't that like kind of the point? Isn't that like fucking normal? It's awkward. Let's see. What the hell? Sorry, got something to do here. So let's see. All right, where the hell am I? Danley stated he would often sleep for long periods after physical exertion. So he's normal, right? Normal dude, you know. Oh, fuck. Danley described Paddock as a mild-mannered person and never violent. Yeah, until he was. Um, he rarely became visibly upset and did not yell or scream when angered. If he was upset about something, Danley stated Paddock would become quiet. He seldom drank alcohol, and she never observed him consume any type of illegal narcotic. All right. Not according to his brother, but, whatever. Oh, shit. Sorry here. I got people bugging me on the other line here. All right. Paddock would often complain about being sick and told Danley that doctors couldn't cure him. Uh, so he's a hype, just a hype. Um, Stated doctors told him he had a chemical imbalance. Paddock would get very bad headaches from chemical smells and often asked to change rooms in hotels because of the smell in the room. Paddock would not. Yeah, is that smell in the room, or is this guy just not liking the room and deciding he wants an upgrade? Paddock would not shake hands with people and often wore cotton gloves. Really? Um, we see him playing games without gloves, so yeah, maybe he's just afraid of people. It's weird. It's weird. Good thing he didn't make it to Coronas. Paddock told her in the beginning of the relationship that she would have to stop wearing lipstick and perfumes because he was allergic to them. All right. Um, oh, shit. Okay. Let's see. According to Danley, Paddock was not a religious person. He would often say things like, "Your God doesn't love me," or "Your God doesn't love us." Um, huh. That's kind of weird to be saying to people. Um, that's just awkward. That's awkward. Like, why would you say that to somebody? I mean, unless I mean, there's a lot of douchebag atheists out there. We've seen plenty of them within this little bullshit here. But, I mean, why would you say that to the person you're dating? That's weird. That's awkward. Danley described herself as a Catholic who would often make the sign of the cross. If something negative would happen after making the sign of the cross, Paddock would blame the negative action on Danley making the sign. But he's not an angry person. He's not violent, but he says some douchebag things like it's weird. It's weird, weird, weird. I mean, you know, I can, you know, I can see it because I've seen it, just within people of this community acting, foolish like that. So I guess. Although not religious, Paddock did not have a problem with Danley taking part in religious practices. According to Danley, Paddock described himself as an atheist. Yeah, okay. But he's a dickhead atheist. He's one of these assholes that has to counter everything. I don't think that's necessary within atheism. I think it's just something certain pricks who, pull that shit. Danley stated Paddock didn't talk in length about politics, did not belong to any political organizations. Paddock did express a dislike for the Obama administration and was happy when President Trump was elected. Paddock told her he believed President Trump would do something to stop illegal immigration. I didn't like illegal immigration. Huh. That's interesting. Paddock did not comment on the topic of gun control and did not display any racial bias. Yeah. Okay. But he's a white guy, right? These days it wouldn't matter. Let's see. 2016, Paddock and Danley traveled to their residence in Reno. When they returned to Mesquite, Paddock brought back a large gun safe. So he brought it back. So it was in Reno. The gun safe was in Reno, I guess. Safe was placed in the garage of the Mesquite residence. Where'd they bring that back in? What? U-Haul? Because they ain't putting that thing. I don't think they're going to put that thing in the back of their Chrysler Pacifica. Safe was placed in the garage of the Mesquite residence, and Danley observed a pistol in the safe when she placed jewelry in it. Danley observed an increase in gun and gun-related purchases after Paddock retrieved the safe. Was there any jewelry in it when the police went and opened it up? I don't remember seeing any in there. So, I don't know. In August 2017, Paddock and Danley drove to the residence in Reno. On their return to Mesquite, Paddock brought back a large quantity of ammunition. Danley assisted Paddock by putting loaded magazines into suitcases and duffel bags. According to Danley, each duffel bag contained 25 loaded magazines. Danley asked Paddock why he had so much ammunition, and Paddock told her it was because one gun could use a lot of ammunition. Paddock also said he began buying ammunition in bulk because it was cheaper. All right. Danley believed Paddock's newfound interest in guns is merely a hobby. Paddock began arriving at the residence frequently, and Paddock would open the packages. God, Paddock, what the fuck? Oh my God, heads elsewhere tonight. Packages began arriving at the residence frequently, and Paddock would open the packages in the garage. Paddock often went to gun stores and gun shows. And I've been looking for them in those. Haven't found them yet. They don't like. I guess they don't like filming a lot in gun shows, so it's kind of hard to, to find videos on the gun shows around there. But I've been looking for them in a couple of those. Danley accompanied Paddock on a few trips to gun stores, but did not pay attention to the transactions. Just no idea. Dude just fucking walks out with an AR-15. Just whatever. Not sure what it is. Let's see. Danley also accompanied Paddock to the unofficial gun range located near the waste management landfill near Mesquite. Okay, well, maybe that's how they found out where that was. Danley helped set up targets at long distances for Paddock to shoot with the rifles. It just sounds nefarious. After target shooting with various rifles, Paddock would clean them in the garage. Danley helped Paddock load magazines and move ammunition on more than one occasion. That sounds ominous too, man. The way they're writing this is crazy. She's moving ammunition around. It's fucking nuts. All right. So during stay at Mandalay Bay in the beginning of September 2017, Danley recalled Paddock behaving strangely. They were staying in room 60235. As she observed Paddock constantly looking out the windows of the room, which overlooked the Las Vegas Village venue. Paddock would move from window to window, looking at the site from different angles. Okay. Yeah. You see the framing there. But, not sure if that's her framing it or them framing it. I mean, because we don't have the actual statement here, the transcription, anything. So, like, they could have been asking her, like, straight up directed questions to get that out of her. Did he look out the window? Yes, he looked out the window. Did he look out multiple windows or just single windows? Oh, he looked out all the windows. Did he look at it from, was he standing in different places when he looked out the window? Yes, he was standing. Okay, so then it could set up a narrative fairly simply with simple answers. So I'm not liking that. In late August, early September 2017, Paddock told Danley she should go see her family in the Philippines. Paddock booked the travel arrangements for Danley's flights. All right. Danley departed on September 15th and was scheduled to return on October 4th. Paddock completed 3 separate wire transfers into Danley's account during the trip. So there we have the only acknowledgement that was actually Danley's account. Total of transfers was $150,000. According to Danley, the money was to be used to purchase a home in the Philippines. Danley was concerned Paddock may be attempting to set her up with a home and break up with her, just like he started dating her, I guess. Let's see. So Danley stated most of her communication with Paddock during the trip was by email or text message. Just curious here. Oh, I'm sorry. This is going to be kind of choppy because I got other things going on. Um, yeah, they say most of her communication with Paddock during the trip was by email or text message. They did have at least one voice call during the trip. Paddock told Danley the calls were expensive, and that's why he set up international text messaging for the trip. During text or email conversations, Paddock would become evasive or change the subject if Danley asked where he was at, but did tell her he was up 70,000. Around September 27, 2017, she received an email from Paddock asking her if she wanted to stay longer, and she replied she was ready to come home. Um, yeah, we don't have those emails, but those emails are out there. They're admitting it here, so maybe I don't know. I said I got to get into the FOIA game here and start looking for stuff like that. Danley learned of the attack while she was in Manila, although she's still alive, so maybe they won't give it to you. I don't know. Learned of the attack while she was in Manila. She was on her way to dinner when her sister received a phone call telling them to come back to the house. When Danley and her sister walked in the house, she observed her driver's license photo on the television, stating she was a person of interest in the investigation. Danley contacted her daughter in California and made arrangements to return to the United States. All right. So, I don't know. A couple interesting things there. I mean, you know, Paddock would, let's see, during text or email conversations, Paddock would become evasive or change subject. Danley asked where he was at, but did tell her he was up 70,000. So I'm guessing they're talking about during during September 2017 on that. And then they're saying on around September 2027, she received an email from him asking her if she wanted to stay longer. So those phone calls were not to Danley. What's that about? What is that about if he's writing her an email? So he called someone else. Someone else. The fuck? Yeah. All right. Peggy Paddock. Paddock's ex wife, Peggy, was interviewed after the incident. Present during the interview were various agents with the FBI. So no cops. Well, yeah, because she's not in Vegas. Um, let's see. The following is a summary of information provided and learned during the interview. Peggy was married to Paddock for approximately 6 years. After the divorce, Peggy and Paddock continued to invest in real estate together. Most of the properties were located in the Los Angeles area. Yeah, but her brother invested in one in Mesquite with him, Mesquite, Texas. Paddock would handle most of the details pertaining to the purchase and sale of properties, with Peggy mainly assisting in financial support. He was milking her for money. That guy's a gigolo. That's crazy. I wonder. Well, nah, because she doesn't. She's not living high on the horse right now. But I wonder if she had money back then. He was milking her for money. Um, Paddock spoke of growing up with a single mom and financial instability during his marriage to Peggy. Paddock emphasized the need to be self-reliant, self-sustaining because of this. During high school and college, Paddock worked for the United States Postal Service. After graduating from college, he began working for the IRS. Paddock went on to work for Lockheed, defense contractor auditing agency, and then McDonnell Douglas. Paddock was not interested in drawing attention to himself. He did not buy flashy clothes, jewelry, or cars. Obviously. Let's see. Sorry. Got some things going on here. Um, Irene Hudson. Irene Hudson, the mother of Stephen Paddock, was interviewed October 2nd, right? Oh, man, by special agents of the FBI, right? The following is a summary of the information provided and learned during that interview. So that would explain why Eric had a sudden change of heart from one day going to, you know, can't understand why my brother would do this. it's not like him, until all of a sudden, yeah, my brother did this, because that was a little strange. And Hudson is the biological mother's Paddock, and was his former business partner. They call your mom your business partner. Stated the last time she spoke. That's funny. She actually stated that he wasn't just my son; he was my business partner. She said the last time she spoke with Paddock was over the phone a couple weeks before the attack. Paddock called to check on her, make sure she was prepared for Hurricane Irma. Um, Hudson did not believe Paddock was affiliated with any religious or political groups. Paddock did not discuss either topic with Hudson. Your mom? Really? You never got into politics or religion with your mom? Crazy. This family's weird. Hudson told agents Paddock was intelligent, good with numbers, and non-violent. Until he was violent. Let's see. Hudson did not understand why Paddock committed such a horrible act. She believed Paddock must have developed some type of brain tumor, which caused him to act the way she did, or the way he did. The first conspiracy theory. Eric, this fucking guy. I don't know if I believe anything this guy says, but let's see. This was early into it, so maybe. Eric Paddock's brother, Stephen Paddock, was interviewed on several occasions after the incident. Present during the interviews were various investigators with the LVMPD and the FBI. Wow. So the LVMPD. So this guy went out to Vegas? I mean, I know he did to go pick up the ashes, but that was quite a bit later. Is that when they interviewed him? I mean, because they ran over to Irene Hudson's house. Huh. Sure, they would have went and ambushed this guy as well. Well, it says on several occasions. Okay. So on several occasions after the incident. So various investigators. Okay, that makes sense. God, I'm not paying attention. I should shut this down, man. I'm not even paying attention to any of this. Let's see. Well, how much time we got? All right, we're a half hour in. Let's see if we can get through Eric real quick. Eric is the youngest of four siblings, born to Benjamin and Irene Paddock Hudson. Benjamin was arrested and went to prison for bank robbery when Eric and his brothers were young. Eric stated several times to investigators his dad was on the FBI's 10 most wanted list. Of the brothers, Eric only spoke to Paddock. Huh. All right. Man, this family is just dysfunctional. Eric stated Patrick has mental issues and described Bruce as a sociopath. What? Wow. All right. That's interesting. That's an interesting statement there. Eric stated that Paddock had limited interaction with Benjamin after Benjamin's release from prison. Eric stated last time he had contact with Paddock prior to the attack was approximately 2 weeks before, and was via text message. Eric said it was not uncommon for long periods of time to pass without contact between them. He continued to say that they would only speak when something needed to be discussed. That sounds like something this guy would say. When asked about political or religious affiliations, Eric stated Paddock had none and was neither liberal nor conservative. Eric did not believe Paddock voted in the prior presidential election. Paddock was not a religious person, did not believe in any higher power, and found religious people to be ridiculous. So he's kind of an asshole. I mean, it just sounds like he's an asshole. They keep stating that he's like this nice, nonviolent, goofy dude. But actually, it sounds kind of like a prick. Maybe the God Bless America song pissed him off or something. So let's see. Paddock graduated from college with a degree in accounting and later worked for the IRS. Eric believed Paddock worked for the IRS in order to learn to come. All right. Yeah. Okay. He's right out of college, though, but whatever. Paddock later worked for an aerospace engineering company before becoming involved in real estate with family members. Eric Paddock and their mother Irene started a business together investing in real estate. They owned several properties together, including apartment complexes in California and Texas. The properties were sold for a substantial profit, which was split between them. And there was a big market boom back in the 90s. So after the sale of business properties, Paddock moved to Nevada and began gambling. Most of Paddock's activities centered on gambling. Paddock had a mathematical mind and would only gamble when he believed the odds were in his favor, which they never are. According to Eric, Paddock had won millions of dollars gambling and was well known in Las Vegas casinos. Paddock played mostly at the Wynn for the last few months. Because Paddock was so successful, casinos would no longer provide him free comps. Whatever, you just max out, dude. You just maxed out. That's just kind of the way they work. Eric believed Paddock may have conducted the attack because he had done everything in the world he wanted to do and was bored with everything. Yeah, so no, you don't do shit like this because you're bored. Unless he's the true sociopath. If so, Paddock would have planned the attack to kill a large amount of people because he would want to be known as having the largest casualty count. Paddock always wanted to be the best and known to everyone. Eric told investigators he and Paddock were smarter than the majority of other people. Oh, I love this guy. He told fucking investigators that we're smarter than most people. That sounds like something this douchebag would say. Eric told investigators he was in Las Vegas to help and show how dumb you motherfuckers are. What? Referring to law enforcement. Okay, dude. All right, whatever. Slow down there, tough guy. Eric believed Paddock would have planned every part of the attack methodically. Paddock would have a need for everything found in the room. I agree with that. Despite appearing unkempt and in poor health, Paddock was very detail oriented. Paddock would not have cared about the people he killed. It would not matter their race, religion, or sex. Paddock was described by Eric as a narcissist and only cared for people that could benefit him in some way. Eric stated Paddock needed to be seen as important and needed to be catered to. Okay. According to him, Paddock did not have anger issues and was passive aggressive towards those who angered him. Eric was upset with Paddock until he learned Paddock had removed the hard drives of the computers found in the room. Eric was upset because Paddock completed the taxes for the family and had cheated on them. He admits they cheated on their taxes. Awesome. Eric was afraid the hard drives would implicate him and his mother for tax evasion. Upon learning the hard drives were missing, Eric said several times maybe he did care for us. Okay, whatever, dude. Yeah. Eric felt Paddock cared deeply for Danley and would do whatever possible to help take care of her. Eric expressed anger over the possibility of Danley having access to his monetary assets. Wait, what? Eric expressed anger over the possibility of Danley having access to his monetary assets. Eric referred to Danley as a gold digger. All right. I gotta stop this because I got some shit to attend to. So this will be a short one. 35 minutes, and yeah. Be safe out there.